And now we just got robbed. Oh well, we got robbed in South Africa. Down there is Simonstown, a town which is home to one of South Africa's Navy bases that has been here for over 280 years. But behind me is what I really want to show you. I mean, this place is cool. To think I'm walking in places that people used to walk hundreds of years ago is incredible. But I mean, look at this.
This over here is a cannon. I am not sure how old it is, but to think that it used to fire out to the ocean and to the ships that are out there, probably sank quite a few ships, but to think that it's still here is quite mind-boggling.
I mean, look how far this cannon used to shoot. I mean, down there's the town and there's the seas. It's insane.
And I would assume that this cannon could rotate. That's why it's on like this wheel. And that this gun could actually turn.
Oh, well, I must duck because it's quite low.
It could turn and, I don't know, fire at any direction that it needed. You'll see that there's one here, there's one in the distance down over there, and I'm sure there were quite a few in this area.
So over here we have a door. Oh, it looks completely welded, so I can't even get in.
There's an opening on the other side.
Is there an opening?
But I don't know if people may be living here.
Oh, sick. Oh, hold here. Oh, wow.
What's in there?
You can actually see it. I'm gonna put the camera in here for you guys to see. Check, so here we can actually see the cannon inside. How cool is that? We actually can't get in here because this piece is like completely welded here on top. Would have been really cool to see a little bit inside. Now some of these things are still part of like the Navy bases and stuff, and this is the only one that we can actually come and see and film. But the plan for today is to go down towards the Cape of Good Hope. Now the Cape of Good Hope is all the way around this corner, and I'm sure there's a few towns that we're gonna stop at, maybe one or two, but we're gonna go to the Cape of Good Hope because there's something really interesting over there. When driving into this old town, you can actually still see that the houses are still designed in these old cool styles, so it really gives this town a unique feeling. But right in front of me I actually have like a Navy ship, and I mean, it's not often that you actually get to see one, but it is huge. Hi. Oh, a lion! Sure, gave me a fright, eh? At least here in South Africa you can joke with people. We have something, oh my gosh, there's an otter. You were right.
Yeah. So we didn't see the otter on the otter trail, but we saw one here in Simonstown. Right in the harbour.
Oh, it looks like he's coming right here onto this beach. Oh my gosh. Are you checking this?
Oh wow, she's got a fish, hey?
We finally got to see an otter up close. What are the chances?
And we saw it catch a prey.
With a fish, and she's gone in for fresh water.
For fresh water.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well
Fish.
I guess we don't need to do the otter trail again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure. Ice cream on a hot day.
Cheers.
Sure.
Yummy.
So good. Hi, how are you? For two people, please.
Are there lots of penguins today?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is a lot of security.
Yeah, geez, just to keep a penguin in. Or us out. Oh, look, they're up on the rocks over there. Those are cute little penguins, the African penguin. Who would have thought that we would be able to see penguins in Africa? But here we are. And they're completely wild, they're not from the zoo.
So we've just come down the road from Simonstown towards a place called Boulders Beach. Apparently you can always find penguins on this beach, but I think we've come on a day where there's not too many because we're only seeing two. Well, this is a beautiful beach.
It is.
Have you checked this place? I think one thing we are missing is our costumes.
Next time, we'll have to bring our costumes with.
We come to a beach with no costume.
But I understand why they call it Boulders Beach. There's just so many boulders here. But it's so quiet and peaceful. It's not like there's any waves breaking on you. It would be like swimming in a pool.
Well, we had very little penguins on Boulders Beach, so we're going to go to another beach down here on Foxy's Beach.
Hopefully there's more penguins there.
Oh my gosh, I can see a lot more on that beach. There's more. There's more. What's up, buddy?
Do you think that's their mating call?
Sounds like a mating call, to be honest.
It sounds like the truck's tires or the, what is it? The
Exhaust brake on a
exhaust
truck.
brakes. Yeah.
When a truck comes down a hill and it slams exhaust brakes, it makes like, and those things sound the same.
They're really cute, and I think this is the first time that I am seeing a wild penguin. Normally I've seen penguins in the zoo, so it's really cool to be able to see the wild ones here on the beach. Look how cute they are. They're all just sunbathing.
We found the right beach. There is like
Millions.
thousands of them over here. They're all so tiny.
They are. I didn't expect them to be so small. I thought they would be a bit bigger.
The way that they walk, imagine us humans walk the same way. Look at this guy. He's just like chilling on the rock, looking at the people, giving them a show.
Some of them are really fluffy, and then others aren't, as they got like that slippery wet look. Then others look like they all. So I'm just reading here, and the reason those penguins were so fluffy is because they're actually molting. So it says here that during the period of them losing that hair, they're losing their waterproof like feathers, and then they are confined to about 21 days on land. And during that time they have to fatten up so that while they're on land they don't have to go and look for food.
Oh, some of them are even swimming inside the ocean. They're like little surfers. They just look like a cool bunch of dudes just coming off the waves and coming back to the island and just chill. Surfer penguins. It is incredibly beautiful around here. One moment we had sea level, the next moment we're right on top of the mountains. That is for the animals, by the way, so they don't come out. But here we are, Cape of Good Hope. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good, good.
Are you local or international visitors?
It depends, what would you like me to be?
Local.
Local?
Local. So do you have your IDs?
Yes.
Or your driver's licenses?
Yes. Thank you.
So that is gonna be 180, please.
Thank you. That's actually so weird. Generally when we travel we always pay tourist prices, but now that we actually get to pay like South African prices, it's actually a good feeling. These prices are much cheaper. But we are finally in the area of the Cape of Good Hope. This is a place that many tourists come to in South Africa, a place that we have both never ever been to in South Africa but have heard so much about.
So keen to go and see what it has to offer.
The rumor is there is a lot of shipwrecks around here.
That will
So
be really cool to see.
maybe we might see one.
But right now we are driving through a national park. There are no big animals here or predatory animals, but there are smaller ones. So maybe we'll be able to spot like a zebra or something along the way.
So we have our Google Maps, and since we've entered the park it says that we're still like 8.4 kilometers away, 11 minutes. So behind those mountains there we have the Cape of Good Hope. I mean, check how massive the mountains are here. Down there is the ocean. We are so high up right now.
Holy moly, they're huge.
Sure, oh my gosh, close the windows. Baboons, check at the size of these things. Oh, here's one right here by our car.
Oh no, I would not want to encounter these when I'm not in the car. Apparently they can be quite aggressive towards people, especially when enticed with food. So they really encourage you when you come here to not have food on you or take food out when the baboons are around, or to even feed them.
They're literally just all in the road. Check this one, yeah, he's like picking fleas in the middle of the road.
Check that one there. He's just like sun tanning. They must like the warmth from the tar road. It's the only reason I can think that they would be sitting on it.
I hope we're not going to encounter any there by Cape of Good Hope. Like, I don't want that type of experience when coming to a place like this.
Yeah, I'm terrified of monkeys, let alone baboons.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good.
You can go through.
So we're here at the Cape Point before we go to the Cape of Good Hope, and we're going to be taking the Flying Dutchman to the top. Because I mean, no one wants to walk, right?
It's going quite fast actually.
Yeah. I think they're using an old train track to go on this thing, so it's quite
Noisy.
It's moving like a train.
We could have taken the path and walked it, but we decided to take this instead as it's an experience on its own. That was short and sweet. Check up there. They have a lighthouse. So we are going to try and get to that lighthouse. Maybe we can go on it, I'm not too sure. So here at the Cape Point, it's often mistaken that this is the place where the Indian and Atlantic Ocean meet, but in fact that is not correct at all. The meeting place of those two oceans is at Cape Agulhas, which we have been to before. But in fact, Cape Point is known as the meeting point for the two currents. So we have the warm Mozambican current. Whew, these stairs are really tiring. We have the warm Mozambican current coming in from the Indian Ocean that meets with the cold Benguela current that comes in from the Atlantic Ocean. Check out these stairs. Even though we took the Flying Dutchman, there is still quite a few stairs to climb up to get to the lighthouse.
And we made it to the lighthouse. A lighthouse that was built, I think, in the 1860s. And over here, it stated that this prefabricated cast iron tile was erected at Cape Point Peak, 250 meters above sea level.
It used to run by candle power, so flashing lights of 2,000 candle power could be seen by ships 67 kilometers away. Imagine lighting 2,000 candles. I'm surprised this thing didn't burn down.
That is absolutely huge. I'm really not too sure how old it is, but I'm sure it's a pretty old lighthouse. And here we've got into Cape Point, and wow, look at this.
This is just an incredible view.
I mean, look at all the seas being so rough down here. I mean, even down there you've got some rough parts, so there must be rocks sticking out over there. But they generally have the two currents that meet over here, and sometimes it does shift a little bit more that way, a little bit more this way. But when you do look online, there is a lot of images that have been emphasizing these two currents, or sometimes even the two oceans, because people get confused. But in actual fact, in real life, you are never able to see the two oceans meet or even the two currents meet. Oh, look what I found over here. Check this out. Now I was looking from afar and I saw something about World War II. This thing says the remains of secret World War II radar station in 1943. So I'm basically standing in a World War II radar station, or the remains of it. Who thought that this was in South Africa?
So that lighthouse was built.
That one there.
That one over there. I was trying to see it from the top, but I couldn't see it. This top lighthouse was apparently ineffective, as a lot of cloud and mist covered it, so sailors couldn't see the light. So they had to build one lower down for it to be seen.
You can see it's the Cape of Winds, kind of, because Leanne's hair's blowing all over the place.
And all in my mouth.
Now, we do know a fair amount of South African history through what we've learned in school and stuff like that, but really exploring it and coming to places like this, you actually learn a different kind of history. The fact that South Africa was used as a port for all the sailors, which we knew about, but the influence that they had here We did not think they had that much influence, but the more you explore the Western Cape, the more you get to see that there was a massive Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, Indonesian, you know, Malaysian, massive culture change throughout the whole of South Africa that was happening here. There really is so much history in South Africa that I myself am finding out. We just bought chips, check Leanne. And there's a baboon, and our baboons stole our chips. Check, there he's eating Doritos. The bugger was all the way down there and saw us, so he came.
You should have warned me that you saw it before, then we could have at least put it in the bag.
I was literally eating my chips,
He wouldn't.
and then I saw him and he saw us, and I was like, oh goodness.
Yeah, but he wouldn't come after you. And I even had my like chips like tucked underneath my arms.
Oh, okay. I think
And
he
then
knows
he
the
kept
color.
coming for me, and then I'm like turning, and then he kept coming for me.
I think he knows the color of Doritos, so he saw the blue packets.
And those Doritos were expensive.
Yeah, they charged
Sheesh.
14 rand for a small pack of Doritos, and there we lost it.
We haven't eaten today other than breakfast and our ice cream and like 2 like chips, and now
And now we just got robbed. Oh, well, we got robbed in South Africa by Baboon. And we have officially made it to the Cape of Good Hope. As you can see, there we have the sign, the most southwestern point of the African continent. And the reason this place is also so unique is where the longitude and latitude lines meet. Right over here. How cool is that?
Now you're probably wondering why this place is called the Cape of Good Hope, and that is because Portuguese sailor Bartholomew Dias first saw it in 1488 on his way back to Portugal. Now he initially named it the Cape of Storms because of this weather, but then it was later changed to the Cape of Hope because it was seen as a good omen that you could sail from Europe via the sea all the way to India.
An interesting fact about the Cape of Good Hope is that this place is actually also known as the home of ghost ships. In layman's terms, it's meaning ships that just disappeared and never made it to the harbors over here of the Western Cape. So I can imagine the amount of ships that are probably lying here at the bottom of this ocean floor. Must be so many. There's a few apparently like down over there. So we're gonna hopefully try and see if we can see one. But I mean, there are hundreds of ships lying over here. So in front of me you can see that we have no shipwrecks, but a beautiful car. Unfortunately our time has run out over here, and to go and see the shipwrecks we need to do a hike. But here in front of me you'll actually find the Vasco da Gama cross, and if you look closely, right there on top is the very same symbol that you'll find on the Portuguese flag, as Vasco da Gama was Portuguese.
But that brings us to the end of our day. But if you liked this video, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Look at your hair.
I know, it's a disaster. The wind is just blowing it everywhere. I think in weather like this I just need to tie it up.